I'm here at GameStop. They have a very special going on where if you trade in anything towards a pre-order or a new game, you get an extra 20% boost. So I brought a few things with me. I have I'm going to call them defective. So it's a controller with that is a little messed up, and a PS2 that scratches the discs. So my goal is to trade these in, put $5 towards a pre-order to get that extra 20% boost. But my goal is hopefully they don't see that it's like messed up and don't mark them as defective. And now some people in the comments might be like, well, that's not honest, Jake. Why are you doing that? Like, what about the person that's going to buy these items next? But one, if you're buying something from GameStop in the year of our Lord 2026 and not testing them out or taking advantage of their 7 to 30 day policy to return them for any reason whatsoever, that's on you. So yeah, let's see what I can do.
Of course, going in, I knew I would have to wait a while they test out the system, and so I decided to go ahead and take a look at some of the games they had. The first one I looked at was Bravely Default, the HD remaster, which I've wanted, but it is a game key card, so I don't want nothing to do with that. They did have Harvestella, which is supposed to be a very underrated JRPG within the past few years. It's been on my list of games to play. The combat looks a lot of fun. The graphics look amazing. And this is one that I've had my eye on, but I don't know anyone's played it other than YouTubers I watch. So what do you guys think? Is this one that you've played? Is it one I should check out? Let me know in the comments. They also had this Warhammer 40k game that looks a lot of fun. I've never heard of it before, but watching gameplay, oh my gosh, I need this in my collection. It just looks chaotic. I love the artwork. I love the customization that you can do in this. So this looks like one of those games that I can convince my buddies to play who are all PC players and be like, hey, we need to get this on the Switch or the PlayStation and play it. And it just looks like one of those games that I can put hours and hours into. And so it's definitely on my radar now, and I'm definitely going to be getting this at some point. Let me know if you've played this though, because I would love to hear what your thoughts are on it. Looking around a bit more, they also had a bunch of Batman stuff, and of course, I'm a sucker for Batman, and they had the Armored Bruce. They also had Gears of War Reloaded on the PlayStation 4 or 5. This blows my mind that this is on PlayStation at all. They also had LA Noire, which is an underrated game. Like, Rockstar has put out so many good games, but their two best is LA Noire and Max Payne 3. This is a great game. It is a lot of fun. You don't do any of the criminal stuff in it. You're actually a detective going up the chain of command, going from just like a street cop to a full-blown detective. It's really cool, and they did this really interesting facial animation thing that was really, really new technology 10 plus years ago. They also had Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. This is another underrated game. It kind of failed back when it came out. It got a lot of good reviews, but no one really played it. So they re-released it, and again, no one really played it. But the game is amazing. You can play any way you want with magic or weapons and everything. You can combine it. It is so much fun, and it's definitely a game that you should check out. They also had a couple of Star Wars games that are also must-haves. They had the Pod Racer and Republic Commando combo, which I played Pod Racer back on N64, and I played it a lot, but I've never played Republic Commandos. So this is one that I need to get at some point, but as of today, I'm just kind of looking and trying to get a new controller for my PlayStation 5. They also had the Jedi Knight 2 and 3, Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy. These are two of my favorite Star Wars games of all time, and if you haven't played them, definitely look into them. They're very fun, but they're very old school, so they're very difficult games. Looking around, they also had some anime figures, which Neon Genesis Evangelion, overrated, so I just looked at them and thought they were pretty cool. I did check out the retro section as always because I like collecting retro games, so I had to check it out. checking out some of the PlayStation games. They had the Lego Lord of the Rings, which I have on the Vita, but I would love to get my hands on a copy of the PS3 version. Looking around, they also had Ratchet and Clank. I would love to get my hands on the entire Ratchet and Clank collection, as this is a series I absolutely love. They also had the Sly Cooper collection, which is another series that I love, and I would love to see Sly Cooper come back with some new games. They also had some Gundam figures, which I really want to get, as I'm getting into Gundam, but for $20, nah. They did have a bunch of DS and 3DS games, but they didn't have the original artwork and casing, so I passed on those. Bloodwake and Crimson Skies are two games on the original Xbox. They're under $10 that are must-haves. They had a cheaper Gundam model, but I decided to pass on it because I really didn't want to get a model today.
All right, so I ended up buying a controller. My trade-in went pretty well, so they did not mark the PlayStation 2 as defective, which is nice. So I got the full amount, plus I got the 20% trade-in bonus for putting $5 down towards a game, which only really ended up being like $5 extra, so like it just kind of balanced out. But I did get this. They did mark the controller I traded in as defective because it did come up with stick drift, so I was not able to pull one on them with that. But yeah, ended up doing pretty well. I'm happy I got another controller so I can play my PS5 actually on the console again without having to use the portal, which is going to be really, really nice. So yeah, I think it was a success. New controller. Didn't pay a dime. Put some money towards the Assassin's Creed game coming out soon. So yeah, it was a success.